We got Clawz in the building.
What up? What up?
Thank you so much for coming out, Clawz.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And you were coming out from Venice, right?
Yeah. Been there about 3 years now.
All right. Where you come from before?
Chicago, actually.
Oh, are you Chicago native?
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised?
Yes, for like
right.
18 years.
All right. Oh, damn. Okay. Hey, that's interesting. I gotta ask.
Mm-hmm.
How's the house music scene out there?
It's pretty bumping.
All right, for sure.
Definitely worth the trip.
Because when I was like getting into dance music, like back in 2009, 2010, a lot of the house mixes that I would hear would be from a lot of like DJs or artists from Chicago. And whenever Chicago ringed up, I always thought like house music was like the signature staple. Like you being in Chicago, like is that true? Like it's really like a house community out there?
Yeah. I mean, house and techno in Detroit, but house really started in Chicago. So I feel like the roots are very deep and it's been like going so long, almost like techno in Berlin, how it's just so like part of their culture.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely part of the culture in Chicago. The bars and stuff have it. They have a good underground scene there too.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, Chicago. That's really interesting. Yeah, I just been here like Southern California my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy because it's like turned into, well, it was like big room, progressive house, electro back in the day. Then it grew into like trap. Then it get into dubstep. And now we're back in phase one with like house. And like house is really big too right here in Southern California. I mean, you've been here for 3 years. Like I'm sure you've seen like the whole collusion of everything. Like how house music has been trending lately. Especially like people spamming like that one track with A-Craze, to Do It To It.
Oh my God. That track is like, I can't believe how much that blew up. Like it's like number one everywhere.
I mean, I knew it was going to blow up, but I didn't know it was going to blow up the way it did.
I know.
Like I was like, damn, good shit, A-Craze. Especially that A-Craze comes from producing tracks like trap, Jersey Club. So like for his hit record to be like a house track, I think that's real interesting and it's really exciting. That's really awesome for sure. So big shout out to A-Craze for that record because, bro, you go anywhere, bro. You could be at Cardenas, you could be at Walmart, bro. You could be at Shakey's, bro. Like they're gonna play that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even play the happy birthday song anymore on on the birthdays. They just play Do It To It, bro. Like, oh yeah, happy to you, happy birthday. But I appreciate you, Clawz, for coming through to the podcast here at the Spotlight, where we talk about all the trending topics in dance music and showcase upcoming platforms, music, and artists. And big shout out to everyone that's been tuning in every week as well on YouTube and SoundCloud. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more content. Leave a thumbs up on the video and hit the bell alert button too, so that way you guys can stay notified every time we drop. And that way, when you guys get notified when this Clawz episode drops as well. So make sure to hit the bell alert button. But yeah, we're excited to have you. And you were saying too that before you got here, you were watching some videos. Kind of have like an expectation of what we're gonna go through and everything. Yeah,
definitely an honor to be here. I've been watching you guys, and it's really dope what you're doing. I like the guess the tempo thing. It's fun and
that's real fun. How hard? Well, now that we're here, how's your tempo skills?
I don't know. They might be questionable. I feel like I can get close though.
All right, well, sure. We'll get to that segment for sure. Okay. But before we start, like getting to know more about like the Clawz brand, how everything else started with you, I want to do a segment with you called Quick Hits, and pretty much it's like a quick questionnaire that I do with you. I ask you a couple questions, and then just like off the top of your like head, like just like answer. Like it don't gotta be very complicated, but they're not complicated answers or questions either. So it'll be all quick and easy, and you'll be timed for this too. So try not to hold on to the thought too long. So so here we go. We're gonna do Quick Hits with Clawz. Let's get down to the first question. All right, Clawz, what's your social media handle?
_Clawz_.
Favorite DJ software?
Ooh, Ableton.
Bet. Age you started at?
DJing or music in general?
DJing.
24? 25?
Favorite genre of dance music?
Acid techno.
Of course. Favorite music streaming platform?
Ooh. SoundCloud.
There we go. Favorite BPM?
142.
Oh, nice. Okay. Special skill?
Play the piano.
There you go. That's like a complicated instrument too. First festival?
Coachella. 2016, 17.
Okay. Why?
Coming from Chicago, I feel like Coachella was like this crazy dream of a like wonderland in California. Like I always wanted to live in California. I moved to Arizona and like got tickets for that, and it was like a dream. Like I was like, this is like the motherland of festivals.
All right, for sure. So it's not. That sounds like that was like a dream, a festival that you dream of like going. Is there a current like dream festival that you want to go to right now? Like, do you have a dream festival at the moment?
Yeah, Awakenings in Amsterdam.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
And obviously that's like a festival you'd like to play as well. Like
Absolutely, that would be like, that's it. We did it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey, you're on your way.
Yeah.
You're on your way. All right, well, that was quick hits.
Nice.
Yeah. I really like the answers. I was actually really interested when you said 142. Is there techno like at 142 or is it just 142? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I usually play between like 141 to 145, 146 if we're feeling it. But I don't know why 142 just like clicks. That it's just random how that number like stuck, but it like keeps up with the tempo and it just works. I think it flows.
Now, I have a question for you because I'm not really too like educated in the techno field. You know, I'm more so like if it's like that kind of style, it's more like house or like dubstep trap. That's like more of like my niche. But I wanted to ask you because I've never heard like 142 techno like that fast. The fastest I've ever heard maybe techno is like 132 or 134. But like 142 techno, like is that something that's been just recently been happening in techno, or is that something that's been ongoing like throughout all these years ever since techno?
That's a good question, actually. I think like people like Richie and Nina and stuff, they played it like, I mean, Richie's played at 120 something, but they played between like 130, 32, depends. And I feel like recently techno has gotten faster. Like it's had trance influences in it. People are just playing harder, especially in like France is a lot of influence that I get. Everywhere in Europe, they like lately are just like picking up the tempo. And I feel like the acid tracks that I'm listening to and like the people that I'm listening to, I'm like starting to get that faster influence and people are like bringing it up. So I think it's more newer, but the energy is there.
And that's like what you play like in your sets, like that fast, like 142, like that range techno. Oh yeah, just let me know when your next show is. Hey, I'm really like interested and curious to like, yeah, because that's the fastest I've ever heard techno was like 132, 134, but 142. Like, okay, like, let me know when you're playing, because I'm trying to check this shit out for sure. I was actually, I was going to come out to the Space Taco event that you were going to, that you ended up playing in Pomona. I had some things that ended up happening that night, but yeah, I've been meaning to come catch you and see you play. And how was the Space Taco set, by the way?
It was good. They had some fucking energy for a Tuesday. Like, they were, like, ready for techno. They were all in. I think I picked it up to, like, 145 by the end of my set. Okay. I was like, and two, like when I'm like picking it up, I'm like, if everybody feels like they want it, I'm like, okay, let's go faster. Like, it's funny too. I got to like bring it down a little bit sometimes. It's just, I feel like a lot of shufflers come. There's a lot of like techno shufflers too. And sometimes I'm like, okay, let's not kill them. Give them a little bit of a slowdown.
Hey, but you'll see some shufflers that you could like play some shit at 150 or 160 and they'll hit it on point. That's like the experienced shufflers. Like they don't care. Give them the tempo. Raise the tempo, lose the tempo.
Hey.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely like keep on like staying updated and make sure like when you play next time, because I'm trying to check the set out for sure.
Yeah, I actually have a set Tuesday, February 8th in Orange County at Circle.
All right, first time playing at Circle?
Yeah, I haven't been there before actually. So.
All right, for sure. Is it are you playing support, headlining?
I'm playing support like. Opening for the headliner.
All right, awesome. Who's the headliner that night? Or secret?
Bomb Squad.
All right.
Yes. It's his collective called Acid Techno Cult.
All right, bet. All right, cool. I'm going to make sure if I have some time to go out and check that out for sure, because you said it's on a Tuesday?
Yeah. Apparently we're going with Tuesdays lately.
Tuesday. They do. Was the feature for sure. God damn. No, but going back to Space Taco, I'm glad that you had that experience. You know, you had a great time over at Space Taco. You know, I'm sure you met Seek One and everyone. Like, they're all like dope ass people throwing shows on a Tuesday, and that's fascinating to me. How like their community like will come out on a Tuesday, because most people like, oh, let's go out, and it'd be like, oh, like it's Tuesday, bro. It's like, what the fuck, like what's going on a Tuesday, right? But now on a Tuesday, it's like, oh, dude, there's Space Taco, and I feel like that's what makes them unique, is that they throw the shows on Tuesdays, where a lot of promoters or a lot of people that throw shows like that, they probably want to rely on the safer days, like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So for them to make like a move like we're gonna do Tuesday nights here in Pomona. Shit, I mean, it worked out in their favor for sure because they have a great community and people are always coming out for every event. Strong community. Big shout out to Space Taco and Sequin and the whole team over there for sure.
Hell yeah. They had like everybody knew that was like, that's what they do on Tuesday. I think they said they've been doing it for 6 years.
Yeah,
so
sounds about right.
Yeah, they built something really cool. I mean, it definitely felt like a family. Everybody was like looking forward to that every week.
Yeah, and like, well, we hope to see that as well with like other event companies because I've noticed you go to shows and like the vibes are just not there. Like you just feel like people just kind of like giving you like that like weird negative energy, and you don't feel that at Space Taco. And like when you go there, like everyone's like having a great time. No one's like trying to beef up or have any problems. And I really like that they bring that experience like to the environment because that's very important. You know, making people feel comfortable. Being in a place where everyone, you know, wants to dance, let loose, and have a great time, and Space Taco provides that. So big shout out to Space Taco. But how did everything start with you? Like getting into DJing, and then has Clawz been like the first thing you started with, or like did you have to go through multiple like aliases before that? How did it all start?
Yeah. So I think I've always played music and like been influenced by music since like 5 years old. I started playing piano. And I think I've gone through like every genre at this point. Like I was into like punk rock in high school, liked metal. And then I think as I went to college, I actually started in bass because I went to school in Arizona. So I feel like their bass community is like the biggest thing out there. And I think I really liked the community. I really liked the like escape that it was and like what music did. I think it was very important to me. And I always liked to perform. I used to do like piano recitals when I was like 12 or something. So I feel like I kind of liked being up there. And I always wanted to perform. And then as I got like faster and the tempo picked up and I was in the house and then I started hearing like deeper techno and faster, I knew like that was what I was going to play. So I just like bought a deck. I think it'll be almost 2 years. So not that long, but I bought a deck and I would watch online videos and like teach myself how to mix.
So you weren't the type to like wait around, see who like who's gonna teach me. Like you actually took the time to like go on the internet, possibly maybe YouTube or like another website to like teach yourself. That's pretty tight. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Cause yeah, that's like I feel like that's the first step to like learning anything. Like you know, just like taking some time to go do some research and like watch the tutorial videos because they help out a lot.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was this thing called Crossfader Academy.
I have heard of that. Okay,
it was cool. Yeah. They had like an overview and I mean, he was just him like, all right, this is how you move from one track to another. This is how you loop. And I think just so much like practice. And then something that really helps too is like hanging out with my other friends that like DJ and produce and stuff. Like you like pick up tools from each other. Oh, okay. I almost feel like DJing and producing is like your collection of tricks, like nice. How many like little things you can pick up and add to it, and you're like, ooh, let me like throw this trick in here, like I'll do a little rewind or something. So I feel like, and I'm constantly like trying to like keep learn and keep up with it because I think techno is very progressive and it's like constantly moving forward, and like people are always like interested to see like what kind of change you make or like what you do new that they haven't heard before.
Facts, yeah.
All right. So when it came to DJing, you went straight to record box?
Yeah. I bought like a DDJ 400. It came with record box.
Okay.
I actually got Ableton before even getting the controller because I was like, well, I want to make music. So I used to like write little songs when I played piano. And I got like a little Akai mini, the little keyboard thing. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to use Ableton.
That's the first step. It's saying, I don't know what I'm doing. That's always the first step.
I will absolutely admit that. And then I think I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just like learn to understand the music and play it together first. And then I started picking up producing and still very new to producing, but it's a journey. It seriously takes hours to just sit there. And like, I'm sure you know, it's a lot of just like sitting there and like, it's not as glamorous as it seems.
I was about to say that. I feel like when people bring up like, oh, you make music, like that sounds like pretty fun. And it is fun, but sometimes it can get challenging to the point where it's where that discipline comes in, where you got to really like sit through, like, you know, you have some ideas, you have like multiple like techniques that you want to go about making that track. And sometimes it's like not fun. Like, it's not like how the movies portray where it's like, oh, like, everything that this producer, the engineer's doing, like it's all like on point. Like he knows what he's doing, but a lot of times that's not the case. Like especially when you're making a track, like it's like you have an idea, you're trying to like really like bring the idea to life as best as you can, and they can get challenging for sure. So I definitely feel you on that. And I was actually going through your SoundCloud, and it's interesting that you brought up that you have Ableton. I was going on your SoundCloud because I wanted to see. Oh, like I'm trying to check out some tracks. So far I've only seen that you have mixes right now, currently just on SoundCloud. So are you stacking up on tracks? Like, you're gonna just like give us a bunch of little tracks coming through?
There's some things coming soon. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been like a journey trying to learn, but I think we're getting there, and I'm excited to like start playing my own stuff. I did make one track for the Discovery Project thing for EDC. For the competition, yeah, it was the like, what was it, the acrobatic track by Side Piece.
Oh, they were doing that remix competition or something. Okay,
yeah. I played it a few times live, but I think we need some more. Like, I didn't put much acid in it. Kind of made it a little like chill because I was like, I don't know if they're gonna do full on acid techno.
Now for the people that are watching or listening right now to the podcast, like, what would you describe like the acid sound to like someone who's not really familiar with like that style?
It's a very like. It's kind of a melody and a harmony. It can be both. And I think, I don't even know, like acid, it just has this like whining sound, and you could do so much that like fluctuates with it. And it's just, it can be like a carrying bass line, or it can be a very dramatic, like insane, taking you to all different kind of places. I don't know if that's a good description.
Nah, because as you were saying it to me, I'm like, wait, do I know what acid is? Because because I know a lot. I know like when it gets like really like subgenre-y, like it kind of throws off a lot of people as well. Because some people are just used to like how would you say, like just listening to acts like Slander, Deadmau5, like just like their style of music, which maybe sometimes it isn't like techno or dubstep, or it's just like whatever the radio is playing, right? So
right,
yeah, I actually just wanted to know more about that because for me I was like, I don't even know if I know what like that acid sound is specifically, especially like with how genres are taking it up a notch nowadays, where it's like it's just much more modernized and much more improved too. So is that's your style that you're going for right now with your production? Yeah,
and I think too, actually, you would be surprised how much acid is in a track, that 303 bass line, that you like wouldn't notice. I think the key with acid techno is it's like it's brought to life, and like the cutoff is higher, and it's like a lot sharper and more like pronounced in the track. But like you could put an acid bass line under something, and it's just kind of low and like hums. So I like it because it's so versatile. You can do anything with it.
Okay, what's up?
Yeah, but that's definitely what I will be producing. We need some really good acid bangers.
Hey, well, we're waiting on the Clawz. Waiting on them. When can we expect to get a Clawz track? Is it this year or
definitely this year? Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, working on an EP. So
hey, how many tracks are we getting on the EP? Or is it a little secret at the moment?
We'll see. 3 or 4. We'll see. That's
good. That's a good choice. It's a good choice. I feel like sometimes I've seen people release EPs and they'll be like 10, 11 tracks. In my head, I'm like, bro, you should just did like 3, 4 more tracks and then an album.
Yeah, I guess that would be an album at that point.
Is there a correct amount of tracks, like, for it to be like in an EP? You feel me? Like, is there like an actual like traditional like, oh, if it's an EP, it's gotta be within like 3 to 6 tracks? Like, do you know anything about that, Robert?
I thought it was like anywhere from 3 to 7. I thought, and then anything more than that is like considered like album, unless like you had samples and stuff you couldn't clear. Then I guess it's considered a mixtape or something. I don't know, but like I thought it was between 7 and 3 tracks.
Okay. That would be a lot. I mean, I think techno in particular, like people tend to release just a couple of song EPs. I feel like I rarely see an album unless it's like kind of meant to be and they all go together. It was like some different vibe. Maybe they like wanted to do some kind of experimental thing. All right. But I feel like it generally is like EPs.
I feel like EDM in general is mostly like not album driven. It's very single driven, you know? So like you don't really see albums from a lot of artists, but you'll see like a lot of cool idea EPs, you know? Because I feel like that's how like a lot of EDM artists works. They'll want to get like ideas out of their mind, like, oh, I got this space idea, let me make these quick 3 space tracks real quick, or like I have this very like vibey feel, let me get all this vibey feel out of my head, and they come up like 3 tracks and then they'll package it together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the EP for sure.
Thank you. Me too.
Oh yeah. And if you guys are still tuned in right here, thank you guys for tuning into the spotlight right here with Clawz, my special guest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up on the video, hit the bell alert button, and stay notified. So techno's life then, huh?
Techno is life.
Something I've noticed about techno and compared to other genres, techno tracks can be like 7-10 minutes long. Like they can be really long. Like is that like because I would think you know more than me, especially in techno field. Like, is that just like standard like for tracks to be like that long?
Yeah, I think they generally are, if not longer. I think it's
if not longer.
There's definitely some long ass tracks there.
Like, what's the longest techno track that you've heard?
I did find one the other day that was like 10 or 11 minutes.
Oh,
it was like, but it almost was like 3 different songs, and he was just like doing whatever he wanted. I don't know. It was a very, I think I feel like the style of techno is a lot of times people mix like slower, and it's like more of a drawn out mix than like, I tend to mix kind of harsh sometimes. But I think that's like the style that I'm going for. But a lot of you
say harsh?
Yeah, harsh. Like, or just like I'm just gonna like ramp it up and like drop the next track instead of like techno can be very like detailed, which is why I like it. And I think the mix of like a very dramatic, like almost like all of a sudden we're in another track and you have like no idea what just happened. You're just like in it. Which is cool to kind of have the crowd get lost a little bit and like just enjoying. And then there's moments where I'm like, okay, we're going to do a drop, loop it a little bit, build it up, and just like drop some other crazy vocal or something. Like, so you know, like, oh, okay, here we go. But yeah.
All right, cool. And like techno events, I've noticed they're done a lot like in warehouses. Like, that's pretty much like a tradition, right? Like you during a techno event, like the ambience like inside a warehouse. Do you know where that came from by chance, or like is that just like how like techno party started? Was it like just like from warehouses, or obviously for sure underground? But I've always seen like bigger company events too. Like whenever they do techno events, a lot of times it's like in a warehouse setting. So I've always found that interesting how like it's always like at these warehouses or even sometimes on the ground. But speaking on like shows and everything, I seen that you did your tour. You recently just did a tour last year, 2021. You had a couple stops. I seen like one was in Arizona.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the tour went. How was that?
It was good. I think probably one of my favorite shows still to this day was when we stopped in Atlanta on that tour.
All right.
They did their first ever block party with this crew, Twisted Lines. Shout out to them and Shakes. Their homies, Shakes, used to be in LA, and she moved out to Atlanta and just started like running the techno scene out there.
All right, nice.
And they took over the like underground Atlanta, which is like an underground mall. And it was huge. They had like 3 stages, and I headlined for that one. I think I played it like 1, and I was supposed to play an hour. And then Cosmic Gate was coming on after me, and they were like a half an hour late.
Cosmic Gate?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, right.
It was cool. But I just kept playing because they had not showed up yet. The energy there was like unreal. There was like 1,200 people there. Like, definitely, it had that warehouse vibe to it. Like, I mean, we were like literally under this thing. It was crazy.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah. That was a pretty cool experience.
Are we going to see a phase 2 tour this year?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely have some good shows coming up. Can't announce yet, but I'm excited. It's going to be a good year, I think.
And now when you're doing that tour, was that like going back to back? Like you did one show and then like the next morning you had to go on a plane and do another show? Was like that kind of like schedule for you when you did that tour? Or was it like you did a show, you flew back from where you're staying at, and then you flew back out to another city? Yeah,
more like that. I think we tried to like space it out a little bit because I work actually during the day too, so we like balancing both things. But usually on the weekends, this is like all I'm doing is music stuff. But yeah, we kind of tried to space it out too, so that I'm not like playing every weekend as well. So it's more like more special when I do play.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was your first tour you've done, right? Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that was the time we played in the tunnel too. Was a cool venue. It was like it was like out in the middle of the desert, like an hour out of LA. And it was like under a train, and it was kind of one of those like drain tunnels. But the sound in there was like unimaginable. It was like bouncing off the walls. Like this whole thing was shaking.
Oh, I got you.
That was a dope one too.
I've always wanted to attend those parties. I've always heard like my friends going to these events and functions. I'm like, dude, you gotta send me the Addy because I've been seeing these clips. I'm like, damn, that shit looks pretty tight. I've been seeing that shit a lot happen too, like in LA. Well, they throw like all these like ragers these like weird like you said, like they're doing like in a drain tunnel or something like that.
So recently, I've been seeing people go through like these tunnel raves out in San Bernardino, and I actually got the address for one. Or see, this is the crazy part. They didn't give me an address. They gave me coordinate locations, bro. And I was like, wait, what's going on right now? Like these are just numbers, bro. I don't know how to get here. And it just like popped up to like I don't know, a little road you turn into, but as soon as you get to the road, you just see like all the lights to where you have to go and stuff like that. And it was a big tunnel. And I guess it was these people called Shadow Events that were throwing it in San Bernardino. And it looked pretty cool, but that's kind of wild. You don't even get an address. It's pretty wild.
That's like proper techno underground, like 90s. You just get like a location pin.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, you really had to trust the directions back in the day. You couldn't go on Instagram. You couldn't check your friend's story to see if it was popping or like if it was actually legit. You had to legit like go in the mud and like really find out and shit. Yeah, we have it easy. We have it easy these days.
I know. I think earlier you asked like where does that like why is it always in a warehouse? And I think a lot of that comes from like Berlin where they really took techno to the next level. It was like techno is like 30 or 40 years old there, and I think like after the war there was all these like abandoned buildings, and it was kind of like a like revolt. They were like, we're not allowed to be out. We're gonna go like have a random techno party, and they would just like set up in random buildings.
All right.
They're like proper renegades. So I think that's where that culture comes from.
Okay,
it's just like wherever you can be in a dark room and like minimal lighting, let's just like enjoy and like play music.
And in Berlin, would you say that's like the mecca for like techno?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
I went there 2 years ago for New Year's. And there it's just like the level of production, sound, the quality, like the artists there, it's a weird presence that I've like never felt anywhere else.
All right. And where some of your I guess like artist influences, like who were you influenced right now by?
Charlotte DeWitt is definitely a big one, being Acid Queen. Amelie Lenz, 9x9 that we saw last night. I Hate Models. Rave Alert is actually they're coming next weekend, but they're a label from Berlin, and they play a lot of like neo-acid rave stuff, which I would consider myself. That's the flavor that I like to go with, but they're a big influence too.
All right, gotcha. Are you currently being manager now, or are you like independently managing your own project?
Rave Trend and I both actually kind of manage. It's definitely like a team effort.
All right, awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. Oh yeah, and when did you guys like made that like merge into like we're gonna help each other out with this project and everything?
It was like, well, we met 2 years ago at Nocturnal.
Okay.
And we just started like hanging out ever since then. And I think like, when I first met him I was like, I want to be a DJ. Like I want to play music. And he was like, okay. And we started. Here it is. Yeah. Yeah. We're really, really doing it. I can't believe like it's been a dream to do the things that we've done so far in like a short amount of time. And like all the good feedback we've gotten and like getting to talk to cool people like you guys. It's been a cool experience so far.
I mean, and then especially, and I'm sure everything has been all like, all the preparations there for sure, for you to get those results in that time frame. And then talking to you as well, bro, like, you definitely know, like you said, strategic content, stuff like that, especially when you're doing that YouTube channel as well. Yeah, we'll make sure to leave that link in the description too. That way people can check it out. Rave Train. Yep, there you go. So you're helping out with Rave Train too, right? And that's like more so pretty much like a dance music like platform. People can go check it out, like a raver platform. Check it out.
Yeah, like a social. So yeah, just like a social platform for electronic music, like a community. At this point, it's just kind of everything. Hodgepodge of ranging from comedy to serious talks about dance music. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure to leave a link in the description so everyone can go follow the page, follow the YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button too.
There we go.
If y'all subscribe, you don't even know the content is gonna come sooner than y'all think. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. But that's awesome. Yeah, it seems like you're staying busy. You know, staying active.
Mm-hmm.
That's real dope. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes out of the Clawz project, the Rave Train project as well. Looking forward to it.
So I have a question. You said you saw 9x9 last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
They play live, right? Like they use a sequencer and like they do all their stuff like that.
Yeah, last night they didn't actually.
Okay.
I think because the setup before they just had ducks up there, and I feel like sometimes they do either or. They played for 5 hours, so they probably were like, you know what, let's just use the tracks. But yeah, they play. I mean, they usually have like a 303 up there. They probably have like a drum pad and stuff for the 909. But yeah, I love watching like modular stuff. I would love to have like a 303 up there one day. At least I think I would add that in so I could like really, really bring my own flavor.
Yeah. So like, so I think that would be like a reason why these tracks are so long. They're like doing a lot of this shit like on the fly and really like, you know, listening and going on. Mm-hmm. So cool. That's where like you want to head with like your style and stuff like that, doing live like that.
I don't know if I would do quite the extent. Like, have you ever seen Rainer Zonneveld?
I can't say that I have.
If you want to see someone kill it on a live setup, that guy is like, he has 6 or 7 different things up here. He has like a Moog, he has a machine, 303. Like he's just like, I think he played for 5 hours at Exchange.
Oh, shit.
And he's like using Ableton, kind of in the way that like Deadmau5 does, where he's like live writing it.
Yeah.
But he plays live like that, and that is like a whole other. I don't know if I'll quite do that.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it's definitely like a different kind of style to do because you're like writing it as you're going, and like it's not really one track. You're like adding stuff and taking away, and it's like continuous.
Yeah. So by the end of your 10-minute set, you have a track. You know.
Yeah.
That's techno. I feel it. Cool.
Techno.
5 hour set. What's the longest set that you've ever played, Clawz?
I want to say 3 hours. I think 2 or 3 hours. Okay. Yeah.
You think you could do a 24-hour set?
24-hour set.
24-hour set.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Give me like 2 years. That's a long time. There's some of these guys play like, I don't know if you know Ricardo Villalobos.
No, I don't.
He is like an old school. I don't even know how to explain. He plays kind of, it's like minimal, repetitive, like, but it's techno. And he's like, if you gotta look up like videos of this guy.
Okay.
He's like so entertaining to watch DJ. But that guy goes for like, he's like Solomon. He goes for like 10, 12, 15 hours. Like, they're just up there. That's what they're doing.
Damn.
I don't know if I could do that long yet, but maybe one day.
Like the only longest sets I've ever done has been like weddings or like birthday parties, like formal stuff where you bring your gear and stuff.
Open format type places.
Yeah, like
Okay.
Because as I was like, even Robert, like all of us, like we are like circle of friends, like we were just doing all these parties, open format, but we're still listening to like dance music. But obviously, like when you're doing those like open format parties, you know, you can't really drop like 3-4 tracks like in a row, bangers, because people at the time the majority of people didn't quite understand dance music, right? Because it was still relatively new in the sense of like, you know, Dirty Dutch, Electro House, a Big Room, Progressive House. This is like all popping. This was like 2010 to 2014, and then the longest I've ever done was like maybe like 8-10 hours, like of just
That's
like
a long
just
time.
mixing.
Yeah.
Now I think about it, like doing all those weddings, doing all those birthday parties, like DJs be standing there for like 6, 8, 10 hours just playing music. I'm like, damn, like. And the time be going by sometimes quick.
And I bet they underbought us too, huh? With the price, we gave them like 10 hours for like $300, bro. What?
Oh, dude, I've done like. Well, I mean, I was just like young, dude. I was just trying to get my bag.
I mean,
wherever I was gonna get my bag, dude, I was getting my bag.
At 15, that's a lot of money, you know.
Yeah, bro.
That is 15. You're like,
I was able to
just
like
play music. All right.
yeah.
go to school the next day, pay for my homie slushies and shit.
There we go.
You want another cookie? I got you.
Oh yeah, I got you. You know, you had a crush on someone. Hey, let's go to the homecoming dance. I got your ticket. You know?
Facts.
No, but Yeah,
I have a question for you, actually.
I got an answer.
So have you played like an hour and then a 2-hour set, not at a wedding, like a proper show?
Oh yeah. I played the longest I've played in a show. For sure, it's been between like 2-3 hours.
Okay, and which one do you prefer?
I like playing as long as I can for sure. Because
Nice. I like that answer.
my mixing style.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I can't really demonstrate like my storytelling in 1 hour. I could do it. Like I just gotta compact that shit. But if you give me 2-3 hours, I could give you better storytelling with my mixing. I could give you better track selection. I could dig a little bit deeper in like the subgenres. Cause like my performance mixing style is like I play a little bit of everything. Especially like all my tracks that I've been making recently, it's kind of been everywhere. It's been like drum and bass, bass house, dubstep, trap,
Nice.
like future rhythm stuff. So it's like I really like to in my world, I like to put people on game on like subgenres. Like, for 5 minutes I'm gonna show you guys like some future rhythm I'm fucking with. For the next 5-10 minutes I'm gonna play like some dope ass house music I'm fucking with. So I don't wanna like I guess like really limit myself to like genres in terms of like dropping a set or performing. So 1 hour is kinda like I'll do the hour, but if you give me 2, like I could promise you like much more better storytelling, more tracks that I'm fucking with, and better understanding of like who I am, and like as a tastemaker and like a curator of like the style that I like. And I could I have room to drop more like unreleased music too. So
Oh, I like that.
Fuck it. I mean, the more time, the better.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, I feel like it's like a journey that you're like putting together, and I don't want to like if I have an hour, that's cool, and we'll kind of like pack it in. But if you have 2, you have space to like try new stuff, do different things, like take people one like direction and then go another, and you have plenty of time to like bounce back and forth.
Yeah. Because sometimes you want to keep that particular vibe, like for a while. Like, and sometimes when you get like 45-minute sets to an hour, especially if you get multi-genre like myself and other people, like it's just like, yeah, you just wish you had more time to kind of like stay on that field and give people like a chance to be like, oh, like we didn't just hear like 1 or 2, like we heard the several like house track, we heard several techno tracks. So I'd be down to do a longer set for sure. If I could do a 24-hour set, I mean shit, I mentally thought about it. I don't think I can.
No?
Like, I don't think I can. No, I mentally thought about it, and that shit hurted my head. So I was like, that shit hurted my head. It hurted. See what I did there?
We actually did a 24-hour festival in Berlin.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah.
How
was that?
I mean, we stayed the entire time. Like it was definitely a journey, but it was cool. We like took a nap halfway through for like 2 hours. They had like a whole like chill area. It was definitely it was a marathon, not a sprint. But it was every like techno god that you wanted to see. So
it sounded like a resort. Like they pretty much had everything there. You didn't have to like go outside to like get your necessities. Apparently there was like like I said, like places to nap and
the food was like the best festival food. We got some like gourmet vegan pasta dish. Like they had like fresh juices. They had like a pizza bar in the back and a coffee shop, like good European coffee. It was very tasteful.
So good at a festival.
What's the name of this festival? What's the name of this event? Or
it's called Hyte Festival.
Hyte
Hyte.
HYTE.
Yeah, it was for New Year's, and it was in this place called Funkhaus. It was like this giant utility warehouse. Had like 2 floors, 2 like rooms, the main room. It was, I mean, that was definitely worth the trip. Just being like that night alone, I think I would have been happy.
I have a question for you. Now that we're talking about like events at other countries, and it sounds like you've had your fair share of traveling and like experiencing like music scenes on a global scale. Is there like a difference in like American dance music scene compared to like European dance music scene? Is there big differences, or are they subtle?
I think there is a big difference, actually. It definitely has, like, I mean, I think the culture is still good and people are still kind, especially at techno. I feel like the energy is, like, really just, like, relaxed people that are generally there for the music. They care more about the music. But I think their scene in Europe is, like, almost like raving to them seems like techno is raving. That's, like, mostly what they listen to. I don't know if they have as much. I think, like, London has drum and bass, obviously, and I think they have more like house and stuff, but I think like majority I found there was a lot more techno in Europe, and it sounded like more like advanced, like and I think our scene has, I feel like bass is like super, super popular to America, which is cool. But I think we have like more genres, and just the way they do parties is different. I think they have different ways that they made their sound and their lighting. So it's cool to see like how our scene is growing, especially recently versus like how their scene has grown.
Yeah, because dance music has usually always been like passionately strong overseas, you know, in Europe and all that. And you know, for me, I felt like United States in particular has just been like barely hopping on, like, oh, like there's an actual environment of this kind of music that's not hip hop or it's not what the radio's been feeding us. I was talking about this in a past episode, how I think when everyone got game on like just dance music in general was when radio started pushing out that Take Over Control track with Afrojack.
Yeah.
And like other tracks, obviously, too. Like, and then you had like LMFAO doing that party rock and stuff. But, like, I think when, like, that record came out, that's when, like, the United States was like, oh, okay, like, there's, like, another genre that we're not necessarily, like, too on about, but it's definitely worth looking into. And then, obviously, now, like, we're seeing all these festivals happening, like, every week here in the United States to where back in the day, like, even, like, in 2010, it's always just, like, all EDC or, like, underground, like, you know, parties, like, in tunnels or wherever. So yeah, I've always wanted to see what the difference was like in culture over there and how the scene is, because yeah, I don't think I've ever raved like in a different country. It's always been here in the United States. So
I would highly recommend. It's definitely worth
Festival.
Hyte Festival.
Hyte
Yeah.
Festival, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go check that out, you guys already know the event and everything. So, Clawz, you ready for our next segment here on the Spotlight?
Yes.
Cool.
What are we doing?
So we're doing EDM Confessions.
Oh no. Okay.
So, I mean, don't get scared. It's pretty much just like a fun, our version of like Cards Against Humanity, where I'm gonna ask you a question, or you might be put in a scenario, and you let us know how'd you go about that scenario. It could be like for instance, like a hypothetical question could be like, oh, like you just got on the decks, like you just put in your USB, like it's not working. Like what would you do in that situation type stuff. So it's like a little fun stuff like that. So. Yeah, if you want, go ahead. There's your stack of cards. You don't grab that. Those are going to be cards for you to ask me. And I have cards for me to ask you. So
cool.
I'll get a grip of this right here. So if you want, we can start off with you asking me a question from one of those cards as well.
All right.
So yeah, in no particular order. You could go with whichever one.
Okay. I do actually like this one. You're in charge of the lineup and can only book 3 DJs. Who are you booking?
Okay. Can I actually, Robert? Can I bring back like people that are like passed away and shit? Like, does that have to be like a live artist?
Let's do it. Let's change the fantasy lineup. Let's go.
Fantasy lineup. All right. Cool.
Three DJs for your fantasy lineup.
Whew. And it sucks because I feel like I've gone through like these versions of like my dream lineups and stuff, so it's like hard now to like not overuse a lot of these artist names, but I want to take it old school for sure. Like I want to touch back to like my nostalgic electro days. Let's put Gold Blank in there.
Nice.
The Bloody Beetroots. Hey, you know what? Fuck it, bro. LMFAO, son. Like, cause I'm gonna tell you something about LMFAO. When I was party rocking in middle school, like that was subconsciously I didn't know that was dance music at the time. You feel me? Or electronic dance music, Cause you know when you hear radio, and that's when I first listened to it was radio. You just think that it's just like the regular radio stuff, but production wise, like the style, it was dance music. You know, electronic dance music, and it's just because it was like they had the vocals like in there, right? So and like dance music wasn't necessarily like built up on vocals. It's always just instrumentation, and then vocals was just something like like it just adds like that like nice touch to a track. So. Yeah, for sure. LMFAO, Bloody Beetroots, Cold Blank, Electro.
That's a wild lineup, bro.
Nice.
That's a wild
that would be a fucking crazy show.
Yeah. I was like on the fly too, bro. Like, and that's just me. Like, that's like a love letter to like my younger self. Like, you know, me.
LMFAO's opening up.
No, they're headlining, bro.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a wild
Cold,
crowd.
Cold Blank, the Bloody Beetroots, and then LMFAO's fucking.
Audiobot's about to be up there.
And I was about to say right now too. Big shouts to Audiobot. For those who don't know, he was the
producer.
He was the producer for LMFAO tracks. Shout out Kenny Oliver. Shout out Audiobot. You gotta keep making more audio bot tracks, bro. This shit's a fire, man. Stop playing with me. But yeah, it's my dream lineup. My dream, yeah.
Let me know when that happens. I'll be there.
Shit. I mean, hopefully they're still fucking playing. I don't know. I might hit up Coldplay though. All right, cool. All right, this is a good question. I fuck with this. All right. What must you have at a festival? Give us like 3 to 4 things.
3 to 4 things.
Necessary.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Gloves. Because my hands are always cold. I've like DJ'd with gloves before. I don't know. I always have like hand warmers.
Oh, nice.
Gotta have function over fashion. What else? I don't know. Probably usually a vape. That's always a necessity.
Okay, that is a necessity at a festival.
Calm the nerves a little.
I know, you always need it. Earplugs, always a move.
I did not realize.
I know. Last night I actually lost my earplug. Realized and found it on the ground. I was like, close call.
So that's tradition for you to like go to shows and like properly like make sure that your ears are all protected. Yeah. I need to do that because I just hate that. I love hearing like the freaking heavy bass. Like I like to hear it loud, and then my eardrums like, nah, bro, like don't be doing this to me. So I gotta make it a practice for sure I'm just glad you brought that up because that's just a realization for me and like especially for other people too. Like just protect your ears as much as possible because as you get older, you know, your hearing loss doesn't improve like at all. So
no,
you know, you only just like want to just keep on protecting your ears and definitely wear earplugs. And for those that don't know too, if you're at a festival, I've done this as well, and like I've seen other people do it. Like go to the production company that's like running sound, and they'll most likely have like, you know, an extra amount of earplugs that they'll fucking give you. So like ask around, like, cause you'd be surprised, like. People want to like help you, especially protect your ears. And it's not. I've seen that sound production crews like they'll have some on deck and they're more than willing to give people, you know, those type of things. So yeah, definitely ask when you're at a festival, or you're at a show, like protect your ears.
For real.
It's just sponsored by protecting your ears. You feel me? Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So is that it for your necessities?
I think so. I think last thing would probably be shades. Shades, gotta have the shades.
All right, bet.
Especially for techno.
I was about to say right now, especially in the techno event, you gotta have shades.
Yeah, it just gets a little crazy sometimes because really it's just like lasers, strobes. It's like minimal, but sometimes it gets a little too much where you're like, okay, it's relaxing.
Got you. All right. Go ahead.
I think you are up.
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite EDM ad-lib?
Favorite EDM ad-lib, huh? That's a good one. Shit. Ad-lib. Damn, I feel like I haven't heard any recent ad-libs that have been my favorite lately. Shit. Hey, Robert, refresh my memory. What's your favorite EDM ad-lib? Let's get you involved.
The do it to it, yeah.
Honestly, the do it to it, EDM. I feel it.
Or we could go with the Rhythm Samurai, the Gotcha Bitch.
That's my EDM ad-lib right now.
That's
Just don't know, the Gotcha Bitch, OG Nixon, dope ass fucking dubstep bass EDM artist, dope EDM artist. Fucking go ahead and check him out. He always samples and uses like this like Gotcha Bitch, like Dave Chappelle shit, and like for me that's like my favorite EDM like sample ad-lib for sure. Like you hear that shit, that's just the OG Nixon track coming up. So big shout out to OG Nixon though, bro. Gotta link up. All right, here I got you another question.
All
right, Clawz. I had to do this. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Create your own EDM genre.
Ooh.
Techno 170.
Techno
170.
Low text.
At that point, it's just droney. Oh man, I don't know. Something. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of trying to do that with. I'm like taking pieces of like each genres and just like mashing it into one whole special thing. But I feel like I don't even know what I would call it though. Like,
would you be able to like describe it?
Something very like racy, like almost the 90s. Like, do you remember the videos of them like bouncing? Like,
oh yeah,
something with that energy. Some kind of like creative acid bass line that like is just like chaotic, basically chaos,
Okay.
like slamming chaos with like, I guess very dramatic, like trance. Yeah, I don't know, slamming trance. I don't know.
Chaos music.
Chaos, yeah,
Yeah,
chaos
chaos.
music.
Okay.
That could be cool.
Oh.
Yeah,
Chaos
The
techno.
first chaos artist. Yeah, okay, that sounds nice, huh?
I like that.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm looking at that too.
Good question.
Oh. All right, go ahead and
Last
I
one.
got the last one. Yep.
This one. All right. If you had to listen to an EDM track for 10 hours, which one would you choose?
Dead Mouse Cascade Move for Me.
Oh, no. Wow, that was quick.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
You
do that
knew.
on a regular, huh?
And then not just because I've been playing it recently, you know, because I've been going through my nostalgia phase this past week for some reason, and yeah, like I'll just throw it back, and that's something I could just play for. If I could listen to that shit for an hour, I can guarantee listen to that shit on a loop for 24 hours for sure. So yeah, I'll definitely listen to that track for 10 hours, like nonstop.
It's a good
And
choice.
it'll still hit me the same way like it did the first time, the first hour or the first minute for sure. So
I'm curious. What about you, Clawz?
Ooh. I don't know. There's too many. It's like asking me my favorite movie. I'm like, it's just like what I'm into in that moment, but a track that I could listen to for 10 hours. I don't know. Probably something Charlotte or something. Or, oh no, there's this I Hate Models track that I've been like really into. It's called Lazy in Hell. It's very like industrial goth kind of grunge vibe. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go look. It's on the promo video actually for the Acid Techno Cult show we're doing.
all right, for sure.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be checking
that's
that
a
out.
good one. Yeah.
All right, cool.
10 hours.
10 hours.
What about you, Robert? What's good?
Yeah.
On the spotlight, we out here.
So lately I've been listening. I don't know why. I've been listening to Louis the Child. Or yeah, that's how you say it, right? Louis the
We'll
Child.
get Homeboy too with your answer as well.
And I think I did this last night. I low-key put their track on Better Not on repeat, and I just fell asleep to
remember
it. So
that.
I low-key just, I would say that track. It's very like nice and cool to fall asleep to, and the vocals are really sick too. So I'd say that track.
Yeah, how about yourself, brother?
Well, because I have to listen to it for 10 hours, probably something not even necessarily my favorite, but something that's tolerable for 10 hours.
Okay,
So
I
maybe,
like your approach.
yeah, maybe like some like Daft Punk, you know what I mean? Like,
All right,
Okay.
good.
yeah, something that's like kind of like vibey, but like won't make you go insane.
I got you. That's a good answer. Hey, you can't go wrong with Daft Punk. To be
Yeah,
honest.
some groovy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Get Lucky for 10 hours straight.
Hey, I was gonna say that.
Something like that.
You'll go on YouTube and you'll see like a track. It'll be like or artist name, artist title, 10 hours. Like damn, like I'll go through the comments like this is the best 10-hour video of all time. It's like bro, it's literally a track looped for 10 hours.
And I'd
That's
be one of
okay.
the dudes clicking on it too to listen to it. So
You're like, that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my day.
You know, I'm gonna just start doing that for every release. Like, that's
10
just extra
hours?
talk. Yeah, Husky can't stop me. 10-hour loop for no reason, but there's a reason though. There's always a reason.
facts.
But yeah, I forget too that YouTube has like, or like people be having like those 10-hour loops of just like a record, and they come in useful though. I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with them.
That's how you know it's a hit. I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah.
a bunch of do it to it 10-hour
There's
repeats.
absolutely.
Do it. There's a lot of like weird. It's funny with YouTube because like it can get so creative. Like it could be like, "A craze, do it to it," but it's metal. Like you know, like it's just like weird shit like that. Excision, but lo-fi. It's like what the fuck? All right, well, shit, you gotta click for me, run it. So shout out YouTube. All right, I got a last question for you.
Okay.
For sure, I already know this answer now that I've talked to you for sure, but
All right.
we gotta hear it from the acid queen herself. You feel me? What EDM genre best describes your personality?
Neo acid techno
There you go.
for sure.
Hell yeah. Neo acid techno. Write it down, all right, guys? Check it out. Because when you hear the next upcoming years, 5-10 years, the familiar name's gonna be Clawz. And I'll make sure to leave the link in the description so you guys can say following Clawz and everything. And then now that we're getting to our ending segment, that was the end of EDM Confessions. How'd you like that?
Nice. That was cool. Very like raw segment. I like it. Good
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. This is one of our favorite segments we like to do for sure because it kind of like kind of gets away from like the actual like getting to know, but gets more fun. Like engaging, kind of opens up more like your personality, and I like that about the segment, which is pretty tight. Mm-hmm. Any upcoming announcements? Anything that you want to say here? Now that we're getting to the end of this particular podcast, you didn't mention you did have music releases coming this year, possible EP. Anything that you haven't stated recently in the recording that you probably want to promote, or you got anything coming up?
I can't share yet. There is something coming in like a month or two that I'm super excited about. You'll see when it comes out. And then I think the show February 8th is probably the one thing I'd want to mention too. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one too. And the homie Nectar actually is going to play too. Karma, if you've seen her. And then Bomb Squad is headlining. It's his collective. And then... Yeah, I think.
And if people want to see you, they could just go to your Instagram, like hit like a link on your bio for tickets and all that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have one more mix coming out in like a few weeks, and then and I just did a mix for Lose Control. If you want to hear, that one was actually one of my favorite ones to record.
Lose Control, is that a platform?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, a collective that they just released last week, and it's on SoundCloud, and I put a link in my link tree in my bio.
Got you. So
that one's good. I just like lost control. I feel like I was like, this is what's happening. So it's a good one.
Now that we're talking about mixes, if I were to like prepare myself for a Clawz set, would go into like one of your mixes kind of best describe what a live set would be, or do you experiment a bit more with like mixes?
I think it depends. I think like it depends on what the mix that like who I'm doing it for.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'll try to tailor it to like a little bit of like what they're going for or like the style of their mix. Like I did one for Rave Alert, which is really the neo acid sound that I truly like. So that one I definitely went probably like closest to what I play live.
Got you.
But yeah, it depends, and it depends too. I try to like match the kind of the vibe of the show. Space Taco, I like was just slamming. That was pretty fun. That was just like all of my favorite tracks.
That was the Clawz set at Space
for
Taco.
sure.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question though. I feel like it definitely depends on the show, like where you're in the lineup and stuff too.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely matters to be tasteful about it, but still be like your own flavor. I'm sure you've like gone through that too, trying to do that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely respect that approach. And because I feel like sometimes even artists like they'll get booked for something, and it's like it's not like they don't got like the music for it. Like it's like they obviously do have the music for it, but like they stay very on brand, and it's cool that you still kind of keep it like to where like it's still my brand, but I still try to like curate to where like everyone's like grooving, everyone has a great time and stuff. So
right, yeah.
Real good skill to have for sure as a DJ, as a performer for sure, because crowds can be tricky.
Yeah,
can be tricky for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So before we close this out, when we first met you, you introduced yourself with Clawz back scratchers. I don't know if
I mean, it's a claw. If you ever need a hand, you got a claw.
Yeah, no,
scratch.
I think that's a dope like promotional idea. What was like your whole like vision behind that? Was it just something that was like, oh, that's fun, I want to do it, or how was that?
I have to give the credit to Rave Chain. He told me nothing, and I came over one day and he was like, I got a surprise. And I was like, what did you do? And he just like pulls out one of those. I was like, so you got to ask him where the idea came from.
All right, well, actually, technically, it's a butt scratcher. It's a butt scratcher. But no, it's just something fun. We figured Clawz, it's a little gimmick, you have a claw, scratch your butt,
Hell yeah.
Got it. That's what I was thinking too. That's what I was like. It's a claw, right? Claw. All right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. No, it's really dope. Honestly, it's really different. Like, you don't see people with butt scratchers, bro. Like, so like that's something that I always remember now, So
yeah,
that's awesome. That's really dope. Is there?
I'm sorry.
Is there any like other like promotional stuff you have coming out, like merch wise or anything like that?
I do have some merch like on, it's his clothing line called Brave Gang. We did a couple shirts and stuff, and I have like a little bucket hat. If everybody wants to check it out, probably need some new merch in there soon. I think we're going to update it. But if you're ever at a show, I actually have like Clawz stickers. I got to give you guys some.
Okay.
He's got them, but, if you ever like come up to me at a show or something, or you're there, like I'll probably have those stickers. So those are my favorite to pass out, like little like acid smileys.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I really like the approach on that merch right here. Like it's a different, because typically when artists and like DJs do merchandise, it's like the typical like the hat, right, or like a shirt, and it's always dope and interesting and so creative to see when especially like music brands and like artists, like they put their merchandise on something that's like not necessarily music, right, but it's like it's something that like people can go back and be like, oh, like Clawz, or even someone that doesn't know what Clawz is, like they just see it, like you're promoting yourself and shit. It's a really good scratcher, you know. I mean, really good scratcher. So I think it's real cool that you went this approach, and like, and I hope to see more creative merchandise from you for sure. Cause
yeah,
I mean, seeing this, I mean, shit, I can't wait till the next product drop. Damn,
we're gonna have to make it good. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Well, all right, well. This is about the ending segment of the podcast. Any last words? Anything? Any shout outs?
Oh, man, I don't know. Shout out to every person that's like I've met on this journey, and like people that I've had me do shows for them and stuff. And everybody that like dances with me. I mean, I love the being able to make people feel the way I feel on the dance floor by other DJs is like an honor. So just shout out to everyone that's supported me so far, and it's been awesome. Good ride.
Yeah, thanks for coming through to the studio as well here at Lose the Tempo to get to know more of you as an artist, the direction that you're going in. It's been real dope to really know you like in person and actually get to know more about your project, and then especially upcoming things that you got going on as well. So hey, I appreciate you coming through to the Spotlight podcast here at Lose the Tempo. My audience and everybody, I'm sure, appreciated everything that you had to say. Shout out Techno, shout out Clawz, and shout out to everybody that's doing this shit. You feel me? Grinding. Because we out here. We gotta stay out here. And we appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel as well. Leave a I keep saying leave a like on the video, bro. I gotta like make that transition from like to thumbs up. Here we go. I gotta get used to that shit. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Give us a like on the video, right? Hit the bell alert button. This is Lose the Tempo here, my special guest, Clawz. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right, Lose the Tempo. That was it. YouTube, SoundCloud. We appreciate y'all. See y'all on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.